Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you how I lubricate big cubes 4x4 through 7x7. This is for people that are looking for help because they're not too sure how to lubricate their big cubes, so hopefully this video will help you. How I lubricate cubes involve not taking the whole thing apart. It just involves maybe taking out one or two pieces. Keep in mind though, there is another way you can lubricate the puzzle. You can always take the whole thing apart and lubricate the screws and the springs, you know, the core area. But the reason why I don't like doing that is because it makes the cube a little bit gummy and a little bit slower. And I really like when the puzzle is just really fast. Alright, so I'll get into it. Let's start with 4x4. To make it easier, I'm just gonna use this one. It's easier to take the pieces out of this one for me. So what I would do to lubricate this Convinsa 4x4 is I'll get something like this, any kind of lubricant silicone base like this. I will see that hole down in there. See if you could see that. I will actually lubricate down in there. So I will push that there and I will squeeze for about 2.5 seconds or 3 seconds. And also when I'm done with this side, I will turn it completely I will go to the opposite side, meaning I will do this right there. And I will do the same thing on this side. You don't actually have to take the pieces out. You could just actually, see that right there? You could actually just do that. Do the same thing, but I like to take it apart so I could just see better, something like that. Also, sometimes what I do is I will do the other sides for about, I will squeeze for about 2 seconds for the other sides if I feel like I wanted to put more lubrication in the puzzle. And then I just break it in, work the lube in for maybe 10 minutes. And that's seriously how I lubricate a Convinsa 4x4. And the end result is you have a really fast 4x4, no kidding, really fast. I've always been doing this with my 4x4s, and seriously, it is really fast. The last competition I went to, someone commented or said that my 4x4 was really fast. Okay, let's move on to the 5x5. For the 5x5, I do pretty much the same thing. Okay, so for the 5x5, I take a piece out. Like I said before, you really don't have to. I'll show you why you don't have to take a piece out, but I usually like to. So if you can see that hole down there, that is where I poke the lube for about 2.5 to 3 seconds for this side, and then I will go to the complete opposite side, and take out this piece right here. As you can see, I'll do the same thing, and I might just do it for every side. So I'll show you where you can do it to not take, you could just simply do something like this and not take it apart actually. Break it in for about 10 minutes and you will seriously have a fast 5x5. Now, I want to tell you a quick story about this 5x5 before I move on to the 6x6. For the 5x5, the first time I got this, I lubricated the way I just showed you, and it was really fast. And then one day I decided to mod it, so most of the lube, you know, got wiped off from the pieces. So I decided to just lube the core. The reason why I decided to lube the core was because this puzzle was all the way apart anyways, so I decided let's try lubing the core. And I find that the puzzle, the speed is fine, but it feels a little gummier and also not as fast as when I did it my own way, if you know what I'm talking about. Next is the Convinsa 6x6. This one's a little bit tricky. I've tried to lubricate it the same way I do with the 4x4 and the 5x5, but I find that it didn't work so greatly. But I would just do this. Poke it in there like so. I don't need to take anything apart. Just poke it in there like so. Put some lube right there. And do it for every side right there. So the white side right there, the orange side right there, and I will push it, like make sure it fits way down like that. I'll do it for every side. But Also, what you need to do with the Shengshao 6x6, it would really help if you change the springs. Maybe use cube for you springs or Dian springs. That will really help with the speed of this puzzle. Now let's move on to the Shengshao 7x7. For the Shengshao 7x7, what I would do is, this one's a bit hard because the pieces are so tight, but I will try to create a hole somehow. Like, alright, there, I got it to fit down in there. I'll do that for every side, and I will squeeze for about 2.5 to 3 seconds for each side. And work it in for 10 minutes. By the way, when I went to Nationals, someone said that they really thought my Shengshao 7x7 is amazing. He told me on Facebook that he really thought it was amazing at Nationals. Just wanted to add that in there. That is basically how I lubricate my puzzles, and they turn out really fast and awesome. If you guys have your main speed cube to be the Dian plus MF8 4x4, you are... See, the thing is, you're gonna have to take this thing apart, and I just decided to lube the springs and the screws because this puzzle kind of needs that, and you can't really do it the way I do with the Shengshao products. You just have to take it apart, lube the core area. But I'm pretty sure most of you use Shengshao, so that's why I wanted to mostly talk about the Shengshao. Hope this helped. I hope this clarified how I lubricate my puzzles, the big ones. And like I said in the beginning, guys, you can always take the whole thing apart and lube the core, but I feel like it makes it a bit more gummier and a little bit more slower. And I really like my puzzles to be super fast, and this way feels and seems to make it way faster, the way I just showed you in this video. If you have any questions, guys, go ahead and comment below. And guys, thank you so very much for watching. Alright guys, have a great time. Bye.